welcome Tribeni ma'am on our show. She is not just a teacher but a guiding light to many, and that's what I felt when I first met you.
Thank you.
When I met you, I found out that you're a very different person altogether. You have such a vast mindset. I mean, you have such great thoughts in your mind which you actually put in your students, which makes them a better person. So how do you feel about that, ma'am?
Well, I think it's very important to understand that children are the best gifts to us from God. And if we are able to love them, nurture them, our life is made. So I think that is the way to look at it. They're beautiful, they're young, they're innocent, they're simple. And you either make them or you break them. And if you're able to make them, there's nothing better at the end of the day.
Wow, that's beautiful.
That's how I try to
beautiful.
make it every day of my life.
Yes.
I must come back feeling perfectly happy that I've spent time with the children.
Wow, that's really beautiful. That's why I always felt a very strong connection with you, because I have the same kind of yes. So somewhere I think that maybe in my life I really want to become that kind of a teacher where my children just come up to me and say that yes, I want to become like you.
Ooh.
You inspire me, ma'am. So
Thank
it's
you. Thank
so
you.
so beautiful. That feeling is so beautiful. And I told my mom about you, and I guess you met her.
I met her. I remember her, a lovely lady. It was an honor to have had her that evening for the school function. It was wonderful. I wasn't expecting.
So let's just begin.
Yes.
I have few questions.
Yes.
And I want you to answer them.
I will try my best.
I know you will. So let's just begin. So first question, what do you love the most about teaching?
What I love most about teaching, at the end of every single day when I come back, I realize that there is one child there who has caught on to something that you have said, and he's going to carry it with him for the rest of his life. And therefore, every moment of my time spent with the children, I am careful. But by God's grace, it comes naturally to be kind to children. Because I know that if you are not, the child goes back unhappy, but I will go back doubly unhappy. So by the end of it, at the end of the day, I am thrilled that I've spent those hours with the children, giving them love and support, which many don't.
Oh my God. So inspiring. What made you get into teaching?
That is a $1 million question. I wasn't expecting to actually get into the teaching line. It just so happened that an old teacher of mine way back who taught me in NGD school, that's where I studied, she just tapped me. She found that I was here, my husband had just left tea, and she had opened a school and she was looking for staff. So somebody told her about me and she landed at my doorstep. My son was just 7 months. She grabbed me by the hand and she took me to her new school. It was just a preparatory school. And at that point in time, there were just about 15, 20 students. And that's where I began. She said, start. And that's how I began to spend time with the children. And I just began to realize it's wonderful to be with children and to be able to teach them something new. I just grew. I hadn't done my B.Ed then. But this lady, Mrs. Uday Mirdha, she used to own the school called The Study at that point in time. She got me to study, she made me do my B.Ed, and that's how I began. And then I was there, principal of that school for a couple of years, for almost 15 years. Then I joined St. Xavier's.
Nice. What is the best part about working with young minds?
The best part about working with young minds, you don't age.
That's true. I totally
you don't
agree.
Age. You don't age. You don't have the time to really think about what people usually do, the worries of life, they're endless. You're facing problems every day of your life. Who doesn't? But because we have to think about the children all the time, I don't think there is time for us to think about how well I am or how unwell I am or what I need to shop for the house. Everything takes a back seat, but first comes the children. And that keeps you ticking all the time. I feel very happy when at the end of the day I'm thinking of what tomorrow am I going to tell this child. It's wonderful. Yes.
How important do you think is a teacher's role in our lives?
Oh, it's the ultimate. What your teacher does with you is so important, because that is what eventually gives you a sight. This is what I have to be, this is what I'm going to be. They guide and tell you exactly. Because when even parents tell children, they wouldn't listen. Even a glass of milk. You tell a child, a mother tells a child, drink this glass of milk, the child will not drink it. Let a teacher say that in class. The child will start drinking milk the next day. Simple things. You tell them the good and the bad and the ugly. They are very smart. Never consider kids to be, too small to understand something. They understand everything. You just need to measure your words, but you can get across to them with anything you wish to in this world, under the sun. And especially 10-year-old children whom I deal with mostly, I think that's the best age one can deal with. They're young adults, I call them that. They know everything, they understand everything. That's
true. Very true. I totally agree with each and every word you said. So how do you think your children and your student describes you?
I'm a terror.
No, you're the nicest person ever.
Ask them. Well, there is one thing that they know, that if there is indiscipline in a class, I just can't tolerate it. I give them a lot of space to talk their mind, to enjoy. But when it comes to the study, we have about 40 minutes a period.
Yeah.
I teach the children not more than 10 to 12 minutes. That's the time that I give children for serious study, that's it. The remaining time is just chatting time to find out something about each child. They're free to tell me what they want. They want to laugh, they want to cry, they want to jump, they want to run. That's their time to show themselves to me. I'm happy with it. So they know that this is the time when I can enjoy myself with ma'am. I can go and give her a hug if I want. Or not after that. Then she wants me down with my book, my copy, my full concentration. So the kids know. And they know that at the end of the day, I'm going to tell them something which is going to excite them, something to look forward to. I always tell them, we have a recitation tomorrow. I'm going to teach you a song. They love learning songs. I love teaching songs. Or a song, or a poem, or a story. I'm a great storyteller. Love telling them stories. So they know, here is a ma'am who will tell us stories. Things that really happen. Not just something, random picked up from somewhere. Good to tell them real stuff. So that's how they look at me. Very strict, but at the same time, fun time with her.
Oh my God. I'm learning so much. My God.
Yeah, you can't really be with the kids telling them to study. I think that's so boring. I mean, I was a student who never really wanted to study only. I want fun all the time. So which is why recently we had a program in school and I made a train for them. A couple of years I created Nagaland for them. Sometime back we did the Heavenly Choir where I created heaven on the stage. So you were
right there.
You were right there. Yes, you are the one who, taught the children how to go up on stage and all that. Yes. So must do things like that for children. Create memory for them. Otherwise, it's a rat race. Soon they'll be in the 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, and my goodness, what the children go through is unimaginable today. So may as well give them this time when they can enjoy. Even the elder ones, I would love to be able to just sit and talk and, tell them life is not so bad. It's tough, yes, you got to work hard, last couple of years in school, 9, 10, 11, 12, but at the same time, be yourself, be happy, be real, cry when you want to, laugh when you want to, make good friends, and talk to your teachers.
Yes. Share with them.
Share with them,
especially.
talk to your teachers.
Yes.
They're good people.
Yeah. Okay. So, second last question.
Thank God for that.
I won't take much time of yours. Do you believe that young children should be able to share everything with their teachers? And how can we create that environment for them?
That's a good question. Yes, children must feel perfectly free with their teachers. They should be able to ask, talk, share. But the only way that you can get a child to talk to you is if you are kind to them. Forgive them. There may be a child who has forgotten to bring the copy 3 times, 4 times, never brings it. No problem. It's not the end of the world if the child doesn't bring it. If the child is talking to you and you find the child smiling and laughing and otherwise a normal kid, it's fine. So one mustn't come down too heavily on children because everybody cannot study. It's perfectly fine. At the same time, we must deal with that. We must meet the parents and tell them this child needs a different way of handling his studies. And in class, one must not show a child down who is not a 90%er. Even if a child scores 40%, the child has passed. He's not a bad kid. There's no problem. You just love him and hug him and that's it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He will grow. He will find his way. So what if he's a 40-50%? My own son was never brilliant, but he's made it in life. He's done it. Struggles there are. Who says there isn't a struggle? There's a struggle for everybody. Every child is going to go through something in life. We just need to be there with them, be their mentor, and just be by their side. Let them talk their mind. They will find their way. That's about all.
Oh, I got emotional. Really, really, it means a lot to me. Like, as a student also, and as a teacher also, I can just feel each and every word of yours, and I want to become that one person. जहाँ पे मुझे ऐसा लगे कि I made the difference.
That's what it is. You have to make a
I
difference.
changed a life. I tried to change the world and I succeeded.
And if we have the time, I'll share something with you just before we wind up.
Yes.
But let's go through with your question first.
So the last one.
Yes.
What suggestions do you have for new teachers like me?
Well, there is something called the media, which I think you need to be extremely careful with, you as a teacher yourself or a young parent. There are lots of young parents who are teachers, and I think it is very important that you understand that media is playing a major role, right? And we can't keep the kids away from it, because if you're going to keep your kids away from it, they're not going to grow up to be what the world is coming to. They're making a world which is their world. I mean, I am done with, right? My kind of world is done with. But they're creating a world, so we have to prepare them for that, no doubt. But at the same time, I think creating an atmosphere in the home front, first things first, home front. You're a teacher, a young teacher, you have a home, you have a child in the house. I think the atmosphere in the house is extremely important, so the child knows that the parents are the first teachers. The teacher in school is the second teacher. She will do, she will provide, she will give. But the child must feel he has a father and a mother. That is the support behind. That is the first support. Because children who don't have this, they are the ones who are lost. Then they are lucky if they find a teacher as a mentor somewhere down the line. They are lucky if they find. If they don't, it plays havoc in their lives. There's no doubt. They run helter-skelter trying to find people who can listen to them, understand them, help them find a way. Therefore, as a teacher, we have to make sure that we find out, is the child comfortable at home? Is he able to talk to his mother and father? Is the atmosphere in the house okay? If not, you better fill in that gap. You are the mother and the father for that child in school. And that is the greatest thing a teacher can do. Fill up that gap and do it when the children are young, no doubt, and continue to be so if you can. Because the child is going to be there in school for 12 years. You're going to be there forever for the next 12 years also in that child's life if you are continuing to work in that same school and city. So you be there so the child can come back, be around. But at the same time, the child you must let the child fly. Let him try, experiment, learn. Let him have his fall off and on. Don't just all the time, support and tell the child how to find the way. Let him find his way. But be there when he falls to help him stand up one more time. But be there. Once a teacher, always a teacher. Till a teacher's dying day. That's what I believe.
Oh my God. That's really inspiring.
Yeah.
Not just for me, I guess for everybody.
It's good to be a teacher. It's a wonderful thing.
And thank you so much for taking out your precious time to be on this show and to say yes to me for this.
Thank you.
It means a lot. It really do.
Thank
honestly.
you very much.
And I'm very, very glad to have you here.
Thank you for choosing me to be your
I am honored.
guest today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.